Joining me today for round two is my friend TJ Bottom. Thank you for joining me again, TJ.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. We were talking just before I started recording that the last time you were on was for episode 66. Interesting. And it was February of 2024. So that is way too long. Um,
Mhm.
and therefore, we're just going to jump right in. You know what the first question I have for you today is, TJ? What is your favorite color today?
Blue. Show you why. Didn't
Okay.
need to get into this.
Oh, you have a it's Hot Wheels and blue glasses. Okay.
Well, yeah, cobalt and navy. Well, pink's always been the favorite. I probably mentioned that on the last one, but like cobalt blue, navy blue. I've been
Okay.
feeling blue dabba dee dabba die, and actually I went shopping to get Izzy electrolytes last night or something.
Yeah.
And some dude at the register was listening to I'm Blue Dabba Dee Dabba Die
That's
in
funny.
red Samba's like sea walking. He kind of was like getting close to me. I was like,
Yeah.
yo, dude, what's up? And then
Yeah.
he just came over and like reached past me and like cleared my register. I don't know, something, but
That's
so
that's
it was
funny.
almost just like as you said that I was like, oh, I just got that thing. I got my blue glasses, and this dude was sea walking to blue.
Yeah. So
You
blue. Blue's the color. I'm
know? And
curious. Yeah.
listeners don't know, but Becca's wearing a beautiful blue hand
I
knit
am.
beanie right
I
now.
knew. I had it. I was curious. I was like, I wonder if there's a blue vibe for
Yeah.
Mr. TJ today.
And
Yeah. Say more. What about the blue that's
I
drawing you?
was gonna say, I'm sure pink, I was feeling pretty in pink in terms of
Mm-hmm.
last time, but as we kind of prologued our conversation, lots changed, a lot hasn't, and just trying to reconcile with the change that you know
Mm-hmm.
is coming, getting older, people changing, losing people, losing spirits and pets.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, just trying to navigate life with
Yeah.
vitality and positivity, but it's kind of hard lately.
How so what would that look like for you, or what does that look like for you each day, or even more specifically each moment?
That's been the hard part, but I want to stop you there because I'm reciprocating your poem from last time to me. Didn't you do a haiku?
Oh my gosh, yes, back in the day.
Okay, well, I have one for Becca J.
Oh,
Yeah, you ready for it?
I'm ready.
Okay, Becca J. Gifted with deep sight, she finds
Mhm.
gold inside the ash, yet the flame leaves its mark.
Gosh, TJ, I have chills.
Now, that was a good podcast, so we'll circle
Right.
back on that corporate talk.
Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. I would like that sent to me, please.
I will.
Um,
I'll write it
this
in
is
calligraphy and roll it in a scroll and
that would be
back
so
snap.
great. That would
I
be yes, do
I
it with
want to do that analog type stuff all the time, but I can bet yeah, we can talk about it, but there's times where I literally tie my shoe and it feels like deadlifting 500 pounds to get myself to just stand upright is a
yeah.
form of exhaustion I've hit more often than I care to admit lately.
Yeah. Does it feel like exhaustion of spirit, exhaustion of soul,
Yeah,
body, emotions, all of it?
all of it.
All of it. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how you've been feeling, but it really what brought me down was, like, collectively, I just try to, like I probably try to dissect it too often and then try to abandon it, and then if it flattens me to the floor when I try to tie my shoes, I'm like, I can't ignore this." So it's that balance of, like, giving something a voice to, like, "Hey, change how I'm thinking about it." but
Mhm.
I just can't ignore certain things even. Yeah, I mean, it does no good to ignore it. What really happened was just smiling and waving
Mm.
and doing so much, I hate to say, but, like, for everyone but me, but I thought I was taking care of me, but not
Mm.
not in the way that mattered in the long run, you know? And then
Mhm.
all systems just kinda shut down about a year ago, and I had, like, my first, what I guess would be, like, panic attack,
Mm.
depressive episode, and it scared the shit out of me. And I was
Yeah.
had to tell Karen, like, "I can't." There was an event that she was like, "Can you meet me up at Alta and all this?" I'm like, "I can't." I'm like, "I feel
Yeah.
like I need to go to the hospital."
Yeah.
And it was everyone has their own life, and even she that lives with me was like, "What?" Like, and I just was like, "I can't do this, I can't do that." I say all these little things matter to me, but they matter to me a lot more than
Mm.
listening to, you know what I mean?
Mhm. So it
Yeah,
was a system overload.
every system.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
I
was
don't know
crazy.
what your thoughts are of dark night of the soul type of experiences, but are you aware of that term?
Um, no, no, I'm gonna be honest,
Mhm.
not to the point that you could
Yeah.
clarify for me. I'm
Well,
sure.
it's just that's what it sounds like to me because I've gone through several. They're a hoot to
Oh, goodness.
experience, and it's one of those things where it's like debilitating. You're almost like, I don't know what to do right in this moment.
Oh,
Like, I can breathe, but I don't that's all that I can do. But
yeah,
you're not even aware of that either. It's just like you're paralyzed and you're just like, "Well, I don't know what to do next," type of thing.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and then yes, that is kind of it. I mean, I've seen breakdowns, like, visually of panic attacks where people
Mhm.
but mine was just like that exactly.
Mhm.
And maybe I know people have them all the time, but what I really hate, I kind of equated it to, like, there's dark paths people have talked to. We talked about, like, the aid station, whatever, if we're equating
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yep.
but you hear people talk about these things and, like, oh, depression, anxiety. Before I had anxiety, my best pal, Chris, and I were sitting at coffee, and he was like, "Man, my anxiety's been crazy," and I'm like, "Dude, I
Mm.
I love you, but I'm here for you, but I don't even know what that is.
Mhm.
So it must be nice." And it was seriously like 2 weeks later,
Here you go. Now
you
you're
hear
gonna
about
know.
yeah, like, "Oh, yeah, this is a beautiful trail, but, like, there are dark paths and
Yeah.
cliffs down that way," and I'm like, "Cool, I
Mhm.
know they're there, but I'm not going there." And now
Mhm.
it feels like involuntary turns
Mm.
down those dark paths because now my mind knows it, like, if you equate it
Mm.
then metaphorically, like, if it's a neural pathway that had never been connected, that
Yeah.
dark matter just, like, pulled those together, and it's always I don't know. I do again, when I said I was trying to dissect it, I'm like, I do know certain things that'll get me there, like, if I don't rest when I need to, listen to my body, whatever, but at the same time, sometimes those aren't an option, like,
Yeah.
it could be a in real time thing where it's like, I have a meeting, my wife, like,
Mhm.
and I'm like, I'm smoked, but I can't disconnect from my responsibilities, my family, and just say, "Well, tough shit, call an Uber to pick our kid up,"
Right.
and trying to
Right.
maintain an attitude with her because
Mm.
my daughter's experienced anxiety, which I feel like the anxious generation is just primed to be
Mm.
screwed in that sense, I'm like, I don't know. I don't want to ramble like I tend to do, and I'm sure, and I know I did in the last one, but it's just like, no
You
more
didn't
use
ramble.
developing
No.
your brain to expect squishies and new outfits, or even if it's not, because I'll be like, don't watch that crap. And she's like, I'm watching art. I'm like, yeah, but it's still short and it's flipping, and she can't just be still
Mm,
because who can anymore, you know?
right. It's that whole collective vibration we're in right now. And
Yeah.
it affects people, especially more sensitive people. It affects
Yeah. And
us more intensely, for
yeah.
sure. Yeah.
And you're probably the same, but I'll close the loop earlier. It was just like people had reached out to me, even some I didn't, I was honored, but also it was right before I kind of collapsed. Don't have very close relationships with, but there was a relative and then someone that I'm friends with, but they only wanted to talk to me. I hadn't talked to them in years about something crazy going on, maybe in their marriage. Were they crazy thinking this? And like it was so cool that he wanted to share that with me. And I don't have like professional counsel to give him, but he felt
Mhm.
better and I would check up. And then a relative went through damn near suicidal,
Mm,
circumstances, and it was checking in on them, and then it just felt like people were losing their job, and I
mm,
would still meet with people or get out in public, and all peripheral conversations were just you could just hear the tone of everything
yeah.
being like, everything's fucked, and I just was like, "I can't hold this weight anymore." And then when I
Yeah.
share with people, I knew that that burden had collapsed on my shoulders, that I didn't wanna start unloading it on others, and
Mm,
possibility that that could be more weight on them, but the few that I did, then I got super resentful and, like, who were my friends because
mm,
I was telling Karen, like, no one followed up, I was like,
mm,
I'm gonna tell this person, less than fingers on a hand, these 4 people, and they just were like, "Oh, man, I'm sorry. I'll hit you up tomorrow," and they just kinda wouldn't, or
mm,
whatever, and then I
mm,
kinda was like, "Well, fuck these guys," but also, like, well, they have life going on, and Karen is like, "You've never been like this." Even if someone assumes you're down,
mhm,
they have no understanding because
mm,
of the you they know, like, as down as you could be is like, "Oh, he'll just sleep or go for a run," and
mhm,
I didn't do any of those things. Then it was identity crisis because it's the
mm,
I'm this guy, I work for this brand. You still love riding bikes, see random people? I'm
mhm,
like, "Yeah," but
mhm,
I don't know this person enough to talk like I'm talking to you right now, and then I'm
yeah,
like, "Dude, I don't love it like I used to." I force it because I know that used to make me feel good, but it's not
yeah,
right now. It feels like a chore, and then
mm,
I'm exhausted, and then I can't show up with the
right,
energy. So combating Izzy's anxiety, I'm like, even though I'm tired and cry in the laundry room before I came to get her, I gotta be like, "How was your day?" "Oh,
mm,
manage this situation," and then you get home and you're just like, "Need some space."
yeah,
But then I assume that's collectively what every parent and everyone's dealing with because I haven't found a lot of people, maybe you have in talking to more people that are like, "You know what? Things are good." And we
yeah,
can't I don't wanna keep people at arm's distance, and I don't want them to keep me at it, you know?
mhm,
Some people just, "Hey, how's it going?" I'm like, "Cool, now we've known each other a year, like, you're full of shit, like, do you
right, right.
let
Do
me
you really
in?
want
I
to
wanna let
know?
you in." So, I don't know, Beck. I'm
Yeah.
rambling, but that's
No,
just where I've been and
it's
trying to
yeah.
yeah.
Do you feel like in the because I have experienced what you're talking about, the crying and then the all right, this is how I have to show up in this way for the
Mm.
boys or whatever.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm crying when I'm with them and I'm just like,
Yes.
it's just coming. It's
Yeah.
just coming out. So,
On the
and
spectrum, I'm like, let's turn this on so I can sob, and then it'll be.
yeah, and
He's
it's,
like, oh, this
yeah.
proposal is really affecting you. I'm like, it sure is,
Yep,
but it
that's what it
does,
is.
you know?
Yeah.
And
But
I
it's,
was, go
yeah.
ahead.
Do you
Yeah.
feel like you are at a point in this where you ride the wave, or are you trying to swim against it?
I've definitely been better than I was definitely last year. It was like late June, just before the 4th of July, and yeah, I'll be like, I'm doing so much better, and I'll have like good weeks, and then all of a sudden I'm just like, I mean, since we're airing it out, last Tuesday I went down where I am now in the
Mhm,
office, and it's a full basement, and I just was like crashing. I don't know. I do contract work, and it's like getting that done, but needing to find more work and knowing that that burden's on me because my wife's starting her financial advising business, which then, you have to build a long tail. And I'm like, this is on me. And
mm,
for her, when I initially said that, she's like, no, it's not. I'm like, where else is it going to come from?
mhm,
So she's done so much to support what said was killing me. And I was like, let me do the dishes. Let me do the laundry. I love doing that because
mhm,
I did. I could zone
mhm.
out, but then it was like just compounding. And I was like,
Yeah.
anyway, last Tuesday, she just texted me from upstairs, you doing good? And I was like, not really.
Mm,
I just couldn't even stand up. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And she
mm,
came down. I couldn't even like speak because I didn't have the words nor the energy. And then,
mm,
it's pretty rare that anyone saw tears and it wasn't being tough. It just, nothing really evoked those until like the dog passed. And then
mm.
all these changes in the past couple years.
Yeah.
Um, and it's tough because she's trying to support me and being like, "You're TJ fucking Bottom." I'm like, who's that?" Like, "You tell
Mm,
me who that is?"
mm.
And I didn't ask that, and I don't want to ask her that. I guess that would be cool to hear what the one that lives with you thinks of you.
Yeah.
But compliments also fall as like expectations lately because it's like,
Mm,
"You're this guy, you've done this, you've done that." And I'm like, it just feels burdensome to be like,
yeah.
"Okay, then why I have to put in the work to be that guy that they think I am." That's why I'm
Mm.
scared to ask her who she thinks I am?
Ah, yes.
Anyway,
Oh,
been
TJ. It's
mad world.
well, and I always have the image of a river. Maybe now I'm thinking of it as fire too. It's interesting because this is so synchronous, and I want to talk about synchronicities, but I was thinking about um how I've been feeling lately. And with a flame, so you had talked about a flame, which I'm gonna write about this later. But the how the hottest part of the flame is that blue part, like the tip of the flame, or when the coals burn down and you see that like blue glow.
Yeah.
I'm feeling the blue glow. I'm
Oh,
feeling the hot, like hot, and I mean like I have to walk away, and
mm,
so that the and I was telling Luke this earlier, it's like that raw nature, that intense like fierceness of
mm,
myself that I tend to unintentionally cage. It's
mhm,
like, no, it's almost like it's okay, here it's coming, it's coming, it's coming, and I keep trying per maybe society, but who knows, all the conditioning. I try
Mm,
to smother it in a way.
mhm.
And it's like, no, this has to, whatever this is, has to come out and through and it needs to burn. And maybe it
Mm,
needs to burn all the way out. And so
yeah.
I wonder if, yeah, it's like you're in that smoldering, that burning,
Mhm.
like it
Yeah.
started maybe 2 years ago. And it's
Mhm.
just like things just keep getting tossed. Well, we're
Oh,
just gonna keep burning in this, you know?
40 years ago, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
I know I'm sure share this with my parents, who knows if they'll listen, but it was like, yeah, like, my perception of my upbringing is that, just that. My brother was brought up the same, and, "Wasn't dad tough on us?" I guess so, but we're just so different. I went to New Zealand with the both of them for a
Hmm.
couple weeks, and I love you guys, but we are so different, you know?
Yeah,
If there was a dead space, it was like, or FaceTiming someone or turning the TV on, or
yeah.
which is fine, and honestly, I didn't judge it at all. It actually was
Good
like,
for you. Good.
well, yeah, because I was curious, and then some of this stuff I was like, yeah, this is stuff I hadn't addressed, where my dad had apologized, for how he recognized that he was tough on us, and I was like, "It's fine." I rebelled, and I went into snowboarding, and I think we talked about it, and I'm in the
Hmm.
position in my life, and because of all my circumstances, but at the same time, I recognize, why do I care? Why do I list these things off when my wife gets home, where we've agreed mutually not to keep score? And I'm
Hmm.
because from the moment I could talk, I had to do that until I left the house. Like,
Hmm.
Reeds did this, did that, and I'm like, I'm assuming that. I mean, I probably need professional counsel to say that, but I'm like, there's these shot callers of
Mm.
like, oh, I don't like loud noises. I like dim light, and
Hmm.
yeah. So it's
That comes from
my
somewhere.
wife loves
Hmm.
bright light, and God bless her soul, but even if I'm
Yeah.
sleeping, you know, "Babe," she's like, "Well, I gotta feed the dying dog," or whatever, and I'm like, "I love you, but please." So I'll walk around with these headphones on all the time, and I'm like, "I can hear you," so I
Yeah.
can mute certain levels.
Yeah.
But yeah, then it's just like, maybe I can't just say, "Oh, I changed my perspective on my upbringing. I am
Yeah.
because of this." It's like, no, I need to focus on, like, what fucked me up, and
Yeah.
how to, like, take
Hmm.
these shot callers off of my expectations that then are
Right.
projected on others' expectations, and
Mhm.
trying to not snap, because that's not my nature, but yeah, exactly what you said. Do you kinda battle with where I'm really battling is, like, I'm not gonna ask, I'll probably just tell you, like, Karen and Izzy, like, I need to go in the room and rest, or I need my own space, which I did at 8 last night. I'm like, "I'm exhausted, but I need to just even
Yeah. I did that too.
run to
Maybe.
the trail or walk to it," and Karen's like, "Go."
Yeah.
But then, like, am I gonna come home tired or with energy?
Right.
And there are times, unfortunately, it's always on weekend, that the whole week is accumulated of me picking up, dropping off. Karen always is like, "I think I can get off today to pick her up."
Yeah.
And the hard part was adapting to that schedule, 'cause I
Yeah.
thought it was gonna be like 9 weeks of studying for tests and stuff, but it's 2 years plus now,
Right.
and then Saturday comes, Sunday, and I wanna do the yard or whatever, and they're like, "We're gonna go to the lagoon," and I'm like, "It sounds terrible," but I'm in the basement being like, I don't want you thinking I don't wanna hang out, you know?
Yes. God, I get it, man. I
Like,
get
I
it.
break or I'm gonna snap, and I've said, like, either I rest now and you have, like, a dad that's aware and present with you and in a good mood, or I just keep pushing, and I'm not snappy, I'm not a dick, you know, even
Mhm.
if I apologize to Izzy, she's like, "What? You're fine." And I'm like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
"You." But yeah, I then they'll admit that they can tell,
Yeah.
and then there's revelations to me where I'm like, they do see it, you know, we're like, "Oh,
Yeah.
we don't," or
Yeah.
like, "You're not always laying around." Then there's another conversation where, "Of course it's affecting us that you have your
Mm,
best," and then it's compounded by autoimmune shit, you know what I mean? So it's
right, right. Yeah,
I don't know,
it's
Beck.
good awareness though. Like that's good awareness that you know you have an idea of what is beneficial for you, even if it's not something you can act on immediately. Were you
Yeah,
a hyper vigilant kid growing up? Were you
yeah,
like, oh, like do yeah, so was I.
like, in terms of it I explain your hypervigilance.
I so peacekeeper, wanted things to be perfect, didn't want, like didn't always know what was happening. I don't know that was environmental or it came with me into this lifetime.
Yeah,
But very much like a always looking, making, checking. Like I can, that's the only way I can describe it is I always was just on high alert. And if I needed to jump in and protect somebody or do
that
something where I'm like, if there's somebody in the house, I will take them out. So kind of thing. I don't know. Not that that ever happened. It didn't ever happen, but I was ready if it did.
was that expressed in, like, a physical energy or movement? Because I was
No.
even my parents, you know, when and they were the best, honestly. My dad coached everything, and he did his best, and again, like, I try not to say Dizzy much, but I'm like, "You need to start getting up and getting your own shit, like, you're gonna
Mm-hmm.
go to junior high next year," and I'm like, "At your age, as soon as I was wearing tighty whities with pee stains on them, and my parents didn't need to change the diapers, they're like, 'Get up and make your own breakfast. You know what a
Yeah.
cereal is.
Yeah.
Turn Animaniacs on yourself or Dennis
Yeah.
the." But I hated when my dad would be like, "I was driving fucking tractors at 7
Right.
years old, blocks tied to my."
Right.
But I'm also yeah,
Well, it's
that's not
different. I think it is different because you want to encourage a level of independence and contributing to your own life, each of their own lives
well,
in their own
their
way.
responsibility, and I
Yeah,
don't wanna digress the combo, but it's like, we can't baby you forever. That's not gonna be a benefit to you, like, no,
right,
it's make your yogurt and granola every morning.
right.
You better start TikToking if you're gonna be just watching that shit, bring home some
Uh-huh.
Mr. Beast bucks. Uh, but there was a combo a couple years ago when I just said, "I know I've said I like doing this, but I don't like." They're they innately don't see that the blankets are unfolded when they go to bed, and I'm sure you
Mm,
struggle maybe with this understanding, and this also takes energy from me trying to be like, "Hey, I can't get after them because they don't see this. They don't hear themselves stomping down."
yeah, yeah,
So and they weren't, you know, like, constantly listening for things, either, "Is this person that comes home gonna be in a good mood?"
yeah,
You know, like, "Is everything done?" But innately, and that's probably why I'm more sensitive than my brother was, because he, like that, is like, "Oh, I didn't even see my shoe
right,
sitting
right.
right there, or that I left this open." I was born with then later, they were like, "You should be in the CIA, like, you see everything in the room,"
Mm.
and I thought that was awesome until it isn't, you know?
Sure, I get it. I'm very
So,
similar. I
that's
noticed.
my hypervigilance. It was very
Yeah,
calm in demeanor, but just even
yeah,
still, to that point, though, I will not sit in a Karen will even now, and for years asked them to change our seat in a restaurant to where I can see the door, you
Oh
know?
my gosh, TJ, we are so similar.
I know we
We
are.
have a lot of similarities, and I'm so curious. So I found out some information. I'll ask you later some information because I think it would really be beneficial for you to be able to see yourself in, because once I was able to be like understand, oh, I just felt so seen. I didn't
Mm,
feel labeled. I didn't feel like I'm in a box. I just felt like this is me. This is
mhm.
how I exist, and it's wonderful.
Yeah.
And because I notice everything, whether I acknowledge it or not, I notice subtle things. I pick up on different energies, and it's same. I'm like, this is great. And it's not, it's also very much not like I don't like it. But I
Exactly.
would rather have it than not, honestly.
Same. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're talking on a run, and he's like, "Becca will just see someone's energy on a trail." And it's funny when I tell Karen what Luke said or Luke says it, she's like, "That's like you, babe." And I'm like, but we both agree that yours is like hypersensitive, probably more than mine.
I don't
In
know.
terms
I
of, like,
don't know.
actual, like, synesthesia, it almost sounded like you see an aura color, but I have forever been like, pardon my French, and it's not like this anymore, but like, "Nah, fuck that guy," like, I'm not
Yeah.
buying and
Yes.
then it could be a day later, months, years, or like,
Uh-huh.
"Dude, that guy is terrible." I'm like,
Yes.
"Yeah."
Yes, I've experienced that. I don't see auras, but I more sense, like I physically sense something, or I just get a knowing. And
Mhm,
this is my challenge now, is that the differentiating between judgment and discernment, because it's
mhm,
a fine line. And I don't want to judge, but I'm also like, I don't want to be around you. I just don't. And so that's discernment. And I've
mm,
saved myself. I am confident that I've saved myself from situations because of that.
yeah. You
So
mean like as a woman being amongst someone you don't know or
yes.
yeah,
And
and then
I have turned around from places. I've left
mhm,
trails I where it's just like, oh, I'm leaving. Like
yeah,
this is, and I don't have a information about the why or what the extent would be. But
yeah,
I've also, yeah, I also get intense. I'm more of a fight type of situation, but I don't want to have to fight. But
yeah.
like
I
mine, it's just like, what are you gonna do?
my fight or flight is definitely fight too. I
Yeah.
mean, it doesn't sound like it, and it definitely used to be a lot more, but
Yeah.
yeah, there's situations where Karen's like and my dad has that to the next level in a
Yeah.
really good way. He was in a helicopter crash
Oh,
in
dang.
the Great Salt Lake and lifting people up, and he's like, "Calm
Yeah.
down. You
Yeah.
that guy's dead." Like,
Right. Just could
he's
compose
done.
and
Yeah, and
go. Yeah.
he's come up on rollovers where
Dang.
story where a girl reached over because her grandpa was driving either between Utah, Montana, and Idaho or in Wyoming, and she grabbed the wheel and rolled it. My dad was, like, first there, and her grandpa had
Oh,
passed, and
oh, geez.
but he just was, like, calm and, like, gets everything
Yeah.
but same, and also, like, if something even remotely and that's another topic, these bullying bitches to stuff they say to Izzy, I'm like I've said, like, "Dude, get her dad on the phone, I'm gonna
See,
go
I just the
be
same thing. I'm like, I want to talk
he
to the
wants to
spirit.
fucking settle it, like, I'll tell him, like, meet me over at the junior high parking lot tonight, like,
Yeah. We're just gonna have a conversation. Let's chat. I
yeah,
mean, because
a lack of
yeah.
awareness too that others have is so burdensome. And do you ever find, like, okay, I have to try by default sometimes, and even with Izzy, I'm like, "All right, let's consider why that girl would say that to
The
you.
story.
She's
Everybody
lived in
has a story.
places, parents are getting divorced."
Yes.
But also, it's like,
And
why should we recognize their circumstances and energy if it's not going to be reciprocated and they're going to continue to do that. What are we going to do? Fucking sit her down and say, look, I understand you were born in this slum and you've lived here and your parents are since separated, which is probably why you're telling me I'm fat. She's just gonna be like, bitch, you're
Right.
fat. And then I'm gonna
Right.
head a little girl.
And it's on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
That's exhausting
yes.
too, and that's where I told Karen I can't keep hanging out with Izzy's friends' parents that I have nothing to do with or I don't
Yeah.
feel a connection. It's just me spending time doing what I don't wanna do.
Yes.
And then everyone's like, "Oh, you seem to be doing better because I've been in a spot where I preserved that energy or changed enough to like, okay, I'm showing up." And everyone's like, "Yay, I'm glad you made it." And I'm like, "Me too, I'm having fun." And then I'm like, later on, I'm like, smoked. And
Yeah.
it's that was energy spent in just
Yes. Oh my gosh.
to adapt to a situation
Yes.
everyone
Gosh.
wants me to adapt to. But
Hmm.
what do you do? Fucking flip your life upside down, tell sorry, all your
No.
friends you don't wanna hang out, you know?
Well, well, this is a fair question.
I
And
don't have any friends anymore. I really I'm serious, like, this
well,
is one of 2, I'm just like, I don't say it, but I'm just if I don't have the energy, and if you don't hear from me, it's not my best friends, I don't have to talk to, and when
right.
we do, nothing changes, and if it
Same.
isn't that way,
Same.
then I guess we're not friends. Like,
Yeah.
if you not talk to me for a bit, and then when we talk, it feels like we never missed a beat other than, "Damn, I'm sorry you're going through that," and we can have a dialogue, but it still feels like we're throwing movie quotes out and we're still the same. But if you're gonna hold me to, "I've called you 7 times, you've called me once out of all those," like, are we even friends? I will say, I guess not.
Hmm. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. It sounds though that you're valuing your energy, which
I'm
is
trying,
is counter to what society wants us to do.
I
You know
know, and
what I mean?
that's
So
but
good. Keep valuing it.
that
It's
doesn't pay the bills, Beck.
no, okay, I get that. I get that. I get
Because
that part.
I
There,
know, I don't, I hate it.
well, okay. Okay, 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 okay.
I know.
There's so much I want to say about this, but the part where you are deciding, well, I'm speaking more related to like gatherings of
Yeah,
people. You're like, this is a no for me, this is a yes for me, this is a no, all of those are no's, like valuing, because I'm lately in my, especially in the past year, it's been more no's than it has been yeses, and it looks different, and I'm sure I'm perceived in a particular way, but that's not my problem, when I can be fine in myself and be able to be a productive community
yeah.
member. But
Do
yeah,
you struggle
go ahead.
now? It's just assumed though, because I finally I did have a snap
Mm-hmm.
with my significant sweet other where I'm like, fucking done doing this.
Mm-hmm.
I never raised voice, maybe twice. I don't think maybe twice in our relationship.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like if I couldn't even help it. I didn't think about it, but it was
Yeah.
like, I'm so fucking serious about this. Like it's
Yeah.
literally killing me.
Yeah.
To where it was like, oh, received.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but then it's like always assumed, and I hate this. Hey, we're gonna go to this house to do gingerbread with these people. I told, well, she would be like, if necessary, I told them you probably wouldn't make it because you had this going on, He's got a work project. He's working on copy, which is perpetual. So it
Mm.
is not a lie, but anyway. And now it's just like, we're gonna do this Friday night. Obviously, you don't have to come. I'm like, well, I don't want to not be with you two.
Right.
But
Yeah.
weighted against that, like, babe, you'll be having wine and talking to this person we both know that is awesome, but we'll keep you engaged and you'll be there till 11 and Izzy will be with the friends and I'll be in this situation.
Yeah.
So, but then I get conflicted because I'm like, it does no good for me to work out of this awesome home with a parole bracelet and one eye on the dog to make sure he doesn't fall out of his. For context, he wags his tail, he can walk, he knows when he needs to
Okay.
eat
Yeah.
and drink, he's hungry, he wants treats, he knows when he needs to pee and poo, but an
Yeah.
asshole that's been working for 117 dog years
Oh,
sometimes gets loose, so it's like
yeah.
always on call, and then, you know, I just don't have the energy to go do that stuff, but I know I need to get out of this house, hence,
Right.
like, the Hot Wheel obsession.
Right.
Won't
Yeah.
talk
So what is what?
into, like, I've always been a car guy, and I just was like, "Oh my gosh." One of my buddies is like, "Dude, I picked up this 911, like, 71 Porsche," and I'm like, "Yeah, I saw one of these the other day, I grabbed one too," and then Beck, my best friends right now, no shit, are dads I've met Hot Wheel hunting, and
That's
their stories are nuts.
yeah.
One whose son attempted suicide out of left field. He was overweight. He didn't see it coming. He's like, I was gonna cry in the basement in my bed and either kill myself, leave my family, or fix it. And he started doing peaks. But we met running into each other multiple times at Hot Wheel hunting and have since I see him a couple times a week. We're finding stuff for each
That's
other. He
cool. That's
shares the
so good.
story. I got him a deal on Solomon shoes so he could go do Grand Jermore. He brings his cars up there and takes rad shots.
Oh,
It's like I'm not scrolling. I need to get out of the house, which goes back to the other point of like, I know I need to see people,
yeah.
but these gatherings that I'm not already included in, then I'm like, okay, am I distancing myself from my family? So those were that. But I was like, Karen knows I need to get up and out of the house
Yeah.
a couple times a day. And I'll be like,
Yeah.
do you want a coffee? I'm at least gonna go do this.
Yeah.
But then sometimes I'm like, I'm gonna go look for toys.
Yes.
And
Good
then
for
you learn
you.
more at it, and I'll meet a dad at Walmart with his son, and, "What are you looking for, man? What are you looking for?" "I'm looking for this." "Oh, I gotta
Oh,
get this." Sometimes we gift it to each other, sometimes we
that's
sell it,
really cool,
trade it.
TJ. That's such a
Yeah,
great way to connect. I
and
can
all the
tell, like,
dads are the same. They're like,
yeah.
"Yeah, I've always been this, it gets me out of the house." They're a dollar each excuse goes out the door when you fill up Luke's whole fucking guest bedroom with them.
Oh my gosh.
But,
That's
I
funny.
mean,
But it
even, like
brings you joy. Does it bring
it
you joy?
does, but
Dude, well then,
it can be deflating because it is an expectation that it is a long tail of like a dopam of like a doom scroll kind of. Because
okay.
if you go somewhere kind of expecting something, and then
Yeah.
you're like, "Oh, it wasn't here at Dollar Tree, maybe Walmart, 4 minutes away will have it, maybe this will have it."
Yeah.
I do find when I go out with the intention of finding something, of just, "I'm gonna go look for Hot Wheels," I've
Yeah.
never got good ones. It's when it's
Okay.
like, "We need eggs, we need this,"
Ah, spurt like spontaneous.
but then, of course, I'm like, "Oh, dang, forgot the eggs." Karen's like, "I'll go get them," and I'm like, "No, I'll get them."
Ah, that's funny. One more time.
Yeah.
Just look. Oh,
There was a time where she's like, "This is ridiculous," or whatever, because I am
yeah.
probably autistic ADHD when they chalk up all these things of like, "Oh, shit." Like, I've always been, like, obsessively if I get into
Okay.
I should turn this around and turn the blur off. This is nothing, but it's like,
Oh yeah, I can't.
I don't know.
I
But at the
couldn't
same
see it. It was
time,
blurry,
yeah,
but
and then I'll justify it being like with the girls at sushi, I'm like, She's like, "This was $100?" And I'm like, "Okay, let's do a little math.
Ah,
Good," And then it's like, we could have bought 86 Hot Wheels, and I have some. I bought one for $1.09. It's
yeah,
the Ferrari F40 Super Treasure Hunt. I was telling Luke, it's
yeah.
selling for 180 to $250 right now.
So is that something like you flip them type of deal? Like, or what is,
I have,
okay.
um, but I don't regularly.
Yeah,
'Cause there's collectors and there's scalpers and there's this I mean, I'm in it, but there are people that are, like,
yeah.
obsessed.
What was
I
it?
will one day, I honestly think I'll just put all of it up, and it really is I will at least 5x what I've spent on it because now then you get more particular and you're looking for this and that.
Yes. So
And
do
I
you
wanna just
feel,
unload it, purge it,
yeah,
have the money, and be like, "How fun to start from
yeah.
scratch," because it was Legos forever, those are expensive.
That's what I was curious about. Like if it's something that you need for a time, do you go through those phases where it's like, this
I
is what I need or
definitely, and
okay.
we talked about that a little where the scared of change, and I'm not,
Yeah.
but there's certain things that I still love, like the Lego stuff you could sell the ones you have put together, but
Yeah.
no one wants those. Hot Wheels, you can have them loose outside of a package. I keep
Okay.
most in, but Legos have nostalgic things where it's like Star Wars behind me is the TIE fighter scene behind this computer,
Yeah.
the DeLorean's right here, the cars I have up here, 71 Porsche, like a rally Audi S2, Lamborghini Countach, a Ford F40 Mark II, I think, the Golf
Do you catalog them or something, or is it
yeah,
okay.
app because I have to. I'll be like, "Crap, do I have that one?"
Oh,
But
got
I'm
you.
more particular now, and these are nostalgic things, but I definitely get, like, so into something that I'm like,
Yeah.
"Done," and I'm like,
Okay.
"Well,
So
I have
it will swing to the end at some point.
I would imagine. I mean, for my wife's sake, but it's not affecting our relationship,
Yeah. But I mean more, okay, so this is the question that came up as you were
I
talking.
don't yeah.
Do you feel
I
like
feel like
you
it'll
have
come to an end, and then I'll be like, "What am I doing with all this?"
um or just like it will have run its course for what you needed it for?
Probably right now, it's hard to think about,
You don't have
and
to.
then
You don't have to go
no,
out.
it actually provokes another question I have to myself, and I'm curious if you've experienced this. I'm like, just general like, nothing feels and I asked Luke, I'm like, "Do you hon" I used to, like, almost lose sleep about, "I'm running in the morning, this view is gonna be so awesome, we're doing this trail," or riding my bike for years. I'm like, "Dude, I can't wait to do immigration for the 346th time tomorrow," for
Mhm.
years,
Mhm.
and now I'll be like, "I should go do that." Now I like it more this year, like, I'm running more and actually trying to get faster and pay attention to that stuff and feeling better,
Mhm.
but I don't know if it's conditioning through also what I'm telling Izzy of just expectation of
Mm.
dopamine hits, but nothing feels as it's hard to be like, "That was so fun," or
Mm.
even when I find sometimes I will find maybe it's if I slept well, if I've protected, I guess, my energy to let my emotions reset, I'll find something that isn't, super rare and be like, "I can't believe I fucking got this. Hell yeah." And Izzy will be with me, and then
Mhm.
I'll find, like, the holy grail or someone will give it to me or I'll trade, and I'm like, "Sick, now I have it."
Mhm.
And it just feels like a lot of life is, like, not takes a lot more it always has taken a lot for me to laugh, which is when the girls stop in their tracks if something funny happens and I'm but That's not to say I don't have a sense of humor.
Sure. But you're
Uh,
not a laugh out loud kind of guy.
no, nothing's like crazy sad. I just don't have, which I don't listen to Huberman much, if at all anymore, but I did hear a bit where he said motivation, he rewords as a sense of urgency.
Mm,
I don't feel like a crazy sense of urgency until it's like a forced, like you have no choice, but you have to
right.
go pick your daughter up. You have to do this. And it
Right.
trickles into like all emotions of like nothing's crazy funny. I
Yeah.
thought this was gonna feel this way, but it doesn't, you know?
Yeah.
Um,
Hmm. Are you still writing?
Not really. I mean, all the things that again I know I should do.
No shitting. There's no shitting.
Not should, I'm like, that could and would make honestly, I have a handful of haikus that I'll send you just
Yes, in
they're just
calligraphy.
for you.
Calligraphy.
Well, that's outside of work writing, that's the only writing I've done in months.
Really?
Yeah.
Why
Again,
do
like
you
I'm
want to write
sure I'm
and you're
just
not?
so tired.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
yeah.
it's I want to do so much in like expression.
Mm-hmm.
Feels like I guess even collecting is an expression because you're like, what do you like?
Sure.
When you meet someone, they're like, I like these fantasy cars, which are like Snoopy Mobile and Eggshell Cracker, and I'm like, "That's cool."
Yeah.
"Mm, what do you like?" "I only like these, like
Mhm.
JDM cars and Supras." I'm like, "Cool," and
Yeah.
but, yeah, I mean, the expression, like, I just feel like and that's where, like, cycling and running, I would tell Izzy and snowboarding, I'm like, "It's a creative
I agree.
self-expression.
I
You can
agree.
step where you want, turn where you want." We forever even still a couple times this year, we mom, dad, and Izzy pick a color that their snowboard is leaving paint behind, and we'd say, "This is painting the mountain." Then I had
Oh.
AI pics of our colors,
Ah, that's
right?
cool.
Yeah.
Cool. I think
I
creativity
needed
is
to talk to you so bad because it just
yes.
reminds you of, like, I need but then
Yes.
we talked about it then being an added burden on our consciousness to be like, I and I love that you said don't say should. But I know this could and would benefit me. Where do I find time and energy to do what I know would? And then I have a fear, again, just like, oh shit, things I loved so much, like running and riding bicycles, not with
Uh-huh. Yeah.
pen. I'm scared it's not going to feel how I thought it would. And then I'll
Ah. Okay, so it's a pressure. It sounds like a pressure that is there.
paralyzation. Yeah. I get
Yeah.
paralyzed because of a newfound expectation where I was used to be like, just
Yeah.
go with the flow, you know?
Yeah. It sounds like expectation
It
is
is.
the downfall.
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
know it's
But it exists. I mean, if you can name it though, I'm not saying to shut it down or shove it away. Let it be there.
yeah,
It's like what uh, yeah, just letting it be there at least for now. But
yeah.
what would expression what would that expression look like if you had the energy, if you had the time? What would the expression
So
be?
many different ones. Like, I'll have intermittent morning energy. I know there's a lot I need to do in my personal routine. I don't wake up at 4:30 anymore. You know, I slept till
Yeah.
6:15 this morning, and I was still tired until 'cause I had to
Yeah.
run it in. I volunteered, and we get her in, but
Yeah.
I just yeah, I mean, I don't have clarity on what it I know so I was now I'm remembering, I'll have morning energy, and there'll be, like, goldfinch out back, and I'll watch them, and I actually Karen was gonna smash a jumping spider, and I'm like, "No, don't smash Lucas." And we had an old beta
Oh,
cage, and I got paper, and she usually agrees, but they
yeah,
look gnarly, like
yeah,
covered in
yeah,
bed or whatever. And we had them for a few days and learned a lot about them. And but I would go out and take close-ups of like mildew on leaves or the cherry blossoms, and it felt
yes.
good. And then I'm like, I should do this more. And then I'm like, why am I not doing that right now?
Oh,
Like
the story
it,
starts.
yeah, it's and I used to coach people, and I'd be like, I don't understand. Like this makes you feel so good. How?
Yeah.
But now I'm like, yep, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because it all requires, like I said, it's not a exaggeration. There are literal times where I've even slept well, ate well, whatever, unbeknownst to me. I'm like, my physical energy is manifesting in a way to tell me that I'm pushing it. I will, no shit, bend down, pull a sock on, and Karen a couple times like, "What are you doing?" Like, I'm kind of bent over at the waist looking like I'm stretching. I'm like,
Yeah.
it feels, and I'll be laughing because it is
Yeah.
painfully hilarious. I'm like, "It feels like so much fucking energy to just
Right.
literally stand back up." Right.
Yeah.
Let
It's,
alone, like,
yes.
contemplate, "What would make me feel better?"
Yeah. It sounds like your nervous system is fried.
True. Yeah. And then
Yeah.
it won't be, and I'll expend it and enjoy doing things that I know I enjoy doing, and it seems to take obviously, that energy is expended from that same system,
Yeah.
and it's like, "Sweet, we loved that, but we only had 20%. Like, don't expect to do that tomorrow, I
Right.
guess." 'Cause I'll tell Karen, like, "I'm tapped." She's like, "Of course you are." We had to take Izzy to the emergency. She had ocular migraines, and then
Oh, pumpkin.
and then she rolled her ankle and then dropped a pallet on the other one, and it's hard 'cause we wanna be like I was like, your new name is Fabergé, like, just a protected." And I'm like, "It means you're beautiful, but Jesus Christ, like, can you just"
Oh, it's a
Of
you
course,
were. Yeah.
puked from one of them last week. I had to rush. So Karen's like, "You did this, 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 and you just ran. It's 8 p.m.
Yeah.
Of course you're tired this morning. You want me to take her?" And I go, "I'd rather you help me because that means you have to scramble, get ready yourself, and things are too chaotic. If you can stay in your PJs, help me get her in. I think that's better for all of us, you know?"
Yeah.
But then I'm like, it's still exhausting. And then the things I love to do also take energy. And then the
Right.
excitement, kind of pulls more of that energy out to be excited. It recharges you in the moment, but I'm like, "Oh,
Yeah.
that dropped some neurochemicals that I'm running low in, I guess."
Right.
Or it's like, how much do you think about it versus just like but I'm like in between like stop, just be versus like dissecting it. Well, why can't I feel like this more? And then
Ah,
a
yeah.
collective hypervigilant brain goes down the like
Right.
dissection hole and not
Yeah.
Google headache, I'm gonna die, but
Yeah. But the thoughts take over as opposed
mhm,
to dropping. For me, it's like when I become aware of, like, I'm grabbing onto all the thoughts as opposed
mhm,
to dropping into my heart. Because the heart,
mhm.
like, what's your anchor? Go with that, whatever direction you want. But that, what I just said made me think, but like, what brings you back from out there?
Stillness, like absolute quiet.
Do you find that every day? Do you get that every day?
I try to force it sometime. This is so fucked up. It's consistent. I will be like, "I need to rest. I'm wired but tired." I'll try a couple times. I'm like, this isn't working." Like, get up and do something, like you still have this stuff to do, do that, and then it just compounds. And it's always right before I have to pick Izzy up,
Hmm.
or if the girls are all home, or they're, hey, we're gonna go to this girls only camp 2 towns away. I and then Coda's asleep, or what I have to know, or at least subconsciously know that everyone's taken care of.
Hmm.
Or it's right up to now you have no choice. You have to pick her up. And then I genuinely start to rest like 20 minutes before I have to do something. It
Hmm.
sucks.
That
So
does
I just
suck.
find
That's
it,
interesting.
I don't find it genuinely consistently.
Okay.
Genuinely meaning like, yes, I can feel my heart rate slowing down. I know, you know,
Do you
this type
feel
of
like
thing will calm me down. If I do it at any time, it doesn't always work, and I
I
don't find
was,
it as much
yeah,
as I should. Do
I was
you?
gonna, well, I was gonna ask if do you feel like you don't give yourself permission to be still, even for 1 minute, if
I
not
feel like
everything's taken
a
care of?
part of me doesn't.
I
It's like a
want you,
battle, almost like Eckhart
yes,
Tolle, where he's sitting above himself as he was suicidal, being like, "I don't like that person.
yeah,
Wait, how am I telling myself I don't like," and I love me to the core.
good.
This is a more of a quote from him where he was like,
Yes, yeah,
"I don't like him. Wait, how am I
yeah,
talking about him? I'm not him." Like, the
yeah,
separation, I guess the kind of point is some part of me won't let me,
okay,
you know what I mean? Like,
yes,
I don't know what it is, but there is something not giving me permission, which I chalk up to my subconscious being like, "Coda could be doing this, Coda could," and it's an inner
okay.
dialogue, like, "No,
Yes. So
he's not."
yes, it's grabbing onto the thoughts instead of
Take a
coming.
physiological sigh and breathe out through a straw, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah, and then it's
Yeah. Ah,
made of shit, and Karen's gonna come home from a crazy meeting, and if it didn't go well, she's consistent in energy, not she's not gonna come home and be on edge, but I'm like, in my head, I'm like, "What if that didn't go well and Coda did shit and he walked through it, and I'm down here in the dark trying to, like, catch him in it," and
mhm. So,
so my
yeah,
sister just says, "Nice try, motherfucker," and I'll sleep 9 hours or literally 2. There's, like,
yeah.
no it's actually, like, 7 or there's no in between.
Okay. Okay. So, first question. Okay. First question. Do you, how quickly, if at all, do you become aware of, like, the time between I'm going to lay down for 1 minute, then all the things start swirling, and then when do you recognize that you're here? Is it like hours later? Does it vacillate? Is it like, oh, I just realized I'm in this
I'm
story?
laying there for hours?
No. So, okay, here's a scenario.
Yeah,
I'm going to go. I was on a walk with Luke and I was hot. Like, it would not be a good moment for somebody to say something to me type
yeah.
of situation.
That was me yesterday, and
Yeah.
it's
That
go
was
ahead.
me yesterday. Maybe it's a cosmic situation, TJ.
I
Seriously.
am ready. Go ahead, though, your
I'm
walk,
gonna
what were
look at that. Well, and so I realized after I just had this whole story going
you
on, and then I realized it. Okay, so that, let's say it's 5 minutes, and I
Mhm,
realized it, and we were on the cement out back on a path. I laid down on the path. I'm like, I just need to lay down, and I just laid there. And Luke was like, he wasn't shocked because it's not abnormal,
mhm.
but there was not a. I don't typically lay down on a path,
Right.
but I knew in that moment I needed to get out of that story. And so I had to ground myself. And you can ground yourself in different ways. But so in going to you, when
Mhm.
realize the story, the spinning happens, all the things. Karen's gonna, I have to do da, 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 before you will become aware that that's happening. How long is it off? Does it take a long time to get to the
No, I'll
okay?
be aware immediately that it's happening. I just can't. That's where I'm like, I'm just gonna go run. It's 8, and Karen's like, walk if you need to. So that was
Yeah.
me laying on the,
Yes. And so that yeah.
yeah, go ahead.
Can you do that? Can you do that where you immediately, I'm saying like 10 seconds. You don't even have to plan it during your day, but
Yeah,
it's like it will look probably weird in your life where you're like 10 seconds, I'm laying on the floor. 10 seconds, I'm doing jumping jacks. 10,
I've
you know what I
noticed.
mean? But where you
Yeah,
just shift the whatever it is.
problem is a lot of it's, yeah, exhausting to where the physical outlet, and I know you prefaced it by lay on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
I can like feel my heart beating. And that's when like I can't find silence just here, and it always
Mm-hmm.
being Frank's the best dog. He's one we got after Chewy that we adopted from up the street. He is the most special boy, but Chewy was deaf and Coda's 18, so we hadn't heard barks in a couple years. And now I'll
Mm,
just like I don't even like headphones on. Like
yeah.
sometimes it just feels like something this is a pressure to, and if I get true silence and know, okay, Karen's not here, she won't need me. Izzy is healthy, she's at school. I'm not gonna be needed, then the fucking mailman will show up or something, and I'm like,
Yeah.
"Frank." But
Yes.
but then anticipating that break in silence, and that's why
Right.
I haven't been getting up at 4:30 because I will be so ready for bed. "Girls, I'm going to bed." And then I just get this calm, consistent energy, just, "No
Yeah.
one needs me right now."
Yeah.
I know no one. This part of me that tells me I don't have permission is like, "Alright, you're good. We're not."
Yeah.
Like that those
Hmm.
ego and self reconcile and their permission slips, and they sign it saying, "Yeah, we're good." Like, I know
Right.
no one's needed, no one's he's not needed, I know he's not needed. Can we shake hands and, like, give him the reins again? So then
Right.
I don't go down rabbit holes of scrolling. Sometimes I do. I'm like, I just don't wanna think. But
Yeah.
those where I don't know if you've listened to the season 2 of Telepathy tapes where that's where, you know and I'm not writing songs or painting, but that is when I feel like actually getting up and writing a little bit or
Yeah.
scrutinizing the details of a die cast or doing
Yeah.
something to where I'm like and then sometimes it spins out to I should be spending this time learning Japanese like I've always wanted to, or,
Mm.
then it's like
Yeah.
I stop myself because 'cause I'm like, "Don't make it a battle, like, just
Right.
whatever you need to right now, you're not needed." But
Yeah.
my physical system is like, "We just wanna sleep, dude."
Right.
You know? And I'm
TJ,
not
have you ever
where I am.
what's that?
Like I said, I'm either, "Oh, I slept great consistently," or there'll be,
Yeah.
like, 3 nights in a row, I'm like, "I slept 2 hours."
Have you ever done one of those oh, what's it called? It's like the deprivation tanks. Well, there's a word
I
before.
was gonna actually say that, but I didn't wanna
Have you
I
ever done
will listen to a mock one, no. That sounds like a fucking dream to me, I'd probably, like, be transcended to
Mhm.
Prometheus or something and be like, "This is what I."
I would love for you to experience one of those. Do you know if they have those there?
I do.
Dude,
I know. I did a hero journey, which that's another unpacking.
I've heard, I know several people who have done that. Maybe we'll have to have another podcast where I just talk about heroes' journeys because I don't know what that, I sort of know somebody explained it, but I don't totally
This
understand
Yeah. I know we've been just
But
talking about life, and I don't know if you
well,
had anything.
life is great. I mean,
I
this,
had something that I wanted. Do you ever struggle? I know we've talked about spirituality and like, energy transfer, whatever. It seems like we're somewhat universally aligned and
hmm
cosmic kindred spirits.
yeah.
I struggle with like there's biology, there's biological nuances involved in our present feeling. So if we're controlled by dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, these affect these things, these stimuli, and what it's the counter to that. Anything anything that raises you up or brings you down,
hmm
and our physical and biological and I guess our thinking, our acting, our mood, everything's affected by like a chemistry.
hmm
So I guess I'm just posing like, how do you consistently find that optimism or that I don't know. I'm kind of maybe I should take my glasses off and take a pee. Awesome
You
words.
can go for
It
it.
just feels like I'll be in such a good place, but it's like you physically have to like align all these things that seem outside of the spiritual realm in order to feel
Mhm.
spiritual. You know what I mean?
Yes, I
It's
do.
all these
I
things are
do.
you're affecting these things that make you feel good, but you can only feel that clarity in moments that seem affected by your physical being and the circumstances or the steps you take to provoke said neurotransmitters that are those
hmm
gateway to it, but I'm like, "This is fucked up because I know I wanna feel this way, and I know I believe these things, and I know these actions would put me closer to that," but it's all affected by the decisions I consciously and subconsciously make to take care of these systems that are biological to align in a way for me to have clarity on my life and my beliefs and my true self.
hmm
Everything's out of your control, and is that just a factor that you're, I guess, stuck to deal with? I don't know.
I would say
Way to
because
articulate it, I hope
I understand what you're saying, actually.
good.
Um, I this is interesting because and I'll explain this more to you probably later after the podcast because I
Yeah.
think it would be beneficial to you. But one of the great things that I believe that I'm here to learn is detachment, unattaching from A to Z, all the things,
Mhm,
unattaching from control, which I have control over how I show up, and that's about it.
mhm,
Unattaching from expectation, unattaching from judgment, all of it, the spectrum of it. And that
mhm,
it's all of that. And then as you were talking, I was also thinking of a river. And so thinking of systems, like when things get, you can go through a river and it's super smooth. You're feeling good.
mhm,
This is great. I'm just on my paddleboard. And then you
mhm,
come upon whatever life throws you and you're in a current. It's not going to
mhm,
toss you off, but you got to figure out how to navigate it. And so
mhm,
maintaining that equanimity,
mhm,
the challenge. But that's where it's like, what is being activated in me? What do I need to address? All without judgment. What
mhm,
am I attaching to? Am I attaching to this story? Am I attaching to this emotion? Am I attaching to this experience? Am I
mhm,
attaching to this past? Am I jumping ahead to the future? So
mhm,
it's I'm not saying it's easy, but And my current struggle is the judgment part and that line between judgment and discernment. But
Right.
it's kind of that constant, I just think of it as open hands
Yeah.
type of situation. It took me a long time to get here and I'm still in the process of it, but it's what am I attaching to in this moment that is causing me suffering? Because the suffering I experience is because I'm creating the suffering. I'm
Yeah.
attaching, you know what I mean? And so it's
And I guess it wouldn't be, I guess it's kind of a question, but it's more of a realization or at least an assumption on my part is like, I don't have the love right now or the care by way of maybe oxytocin, dopamine, whatever,
sure.
to address that in a way I know I'm capable or recognize it. And I will be like, these physical constraints, systems, and expectations are affecting who I am, but I can't exist amongst the
Right,
physical without at least adhering to some of that or
right.
what's expected of me now. I try to say this, and I do genuinely feel this a lot when I say it, like, this won't last forever. And I say it to myself, like with Izzy and those moments, and Karen and I align. We'll see and look at each other like, this is amazing. And
Yeah,
this is exhausting. It won't be
right.
forever. There's always that change is the only constant, which I was telling her the other day, like,
Yeah,
it'll get better. It seems so real right now,
right.
sprained ankle or whatever. Um, but yeah, there's also times where I'm just like, I can't be in that space because I'm so affected by these other things. And then
Yeah.
it just compounded. So yeah, it's knowing things will change, but it's also like, what am I attaching to right now? That's great. Your nervous system's on fire because there are these immediate expectations, which I think what's affected me is they're pretty consistent. Like the
Mm,
interruptions, it's like I can't train myself to do certain things because it is consistently interrupted.
right.
And it's things as a man too and a father, it's like you've committed to this and being raised by a rancher and always either being told that I should be this way or adopting it and living it voluntarily, like racing, you show up for
Yeah,
this. Even the
right.
disease, it's like, no, I've conditioned myself. My doctors were like, we've never seen someone get through this so well, let alone be stronger. And I'm like, well, that's what the fuck I do. And now it's like
Mm,
that loss of identity, we're like, I don't have the literal physical strength anymore, nor the mental fortitude or the energy to cultivate either of those or the time to train, fuel, recover all systems,
yeah, yeah,
mental, emotional, physical, to be in the best position to race this fucking
right.
life. So that's where it's just, again, probably in me saying this, someone could be like, you're overthinking it. It's like,
No, I get
I
it.
also feel her like you. I don't, especially the people in my home. I
Yeah,
don't want them to feel like they don't know me, and I'm terrified of me saying, "Now I'm finding out who I am. I need things this way," and then being like, "Well, that's not who we know." You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Yes, I do. I do know what you mean. So you've always been, not this, well, I hope you hear what I'm saying. You've always been a caretaker, not necessarily cared for. Like, do you know, like, I'm
I know what
not
you
saying that
mean.
somebody is doing
Yes.
something wrong, but I mean, have you ever just been taken care of?
Mm, like, I mean, Karen
I
take
love, yeah, yes,
no, but I
I'm
know what you
not,
mean.
no.
But I had to say,
Karen, I love you, Karen. I
I
love you,
need to
Izzy.
be taken care of this way, not without yelling or
Yeah,
collapsing.
yeah,
No, and conversely, I notice that more because I am as long as I can remember, I've been going to movies. My family or film people, they
Mm-hmm.
mentioned that before, but I forever would be at a movie, like, looking at my friend, like, "How does he like it?" Like,
Oh, yeah,
"Are
yeah,
they
yeah,
entertained?" Like,
yeah,
almost to a, like,
yeah,
"Is everyone having fun? Everyone's doing good, right?" Without saying it, and then,
yeah.
um,
Yes.
but
That's what
yeah,
I'm curious about. Not that it's somebody else's, I'm not saying it's somebody else's responsibility to do it, but just the experience of being like cared
yeah,
for. Because
I
I
I don't
don't
know
need
what that looks
that.
like. I
Yeah.
mean, nor do I know if I'd be comfortable with it because it's so foreign to just be fully like, Izzy's fucking take that's what I'm thinking of being taken care of is, like, almost even yesterday, I'm like, "You can't just assume that I'm always gonna bring all your friends because any of the parents that are listening to this, step it the fuck up, like, we are smoked, Karen's working 60 hours a week, yet
Yeah.
she and I are still the ones carpooling. I mean, these fools' wives don't even have jobs. And I told Karen, I'm like, you gotta stop saying yes. Cause
Oh,
she does it to a point she still can't recognize. And I'm like, you're gonna snap.
yeah.
But she'll
Have,
say, hey, are you okay if friends sleep over? I go, now that we have this, we're communicating, and she doesn't want to see me break down and yell,
yeah.
not at her, but in a way that things are heard. That I now just say, "If you wanna manage it, you can, but I will not be
Yeah.
catering to them tonight."
Right.
And she's like, yeah, that's fine. Dad's gonna be downstairs." And I'm like, "But I'm not gonna be downstairs either.
Right.
I wanna be in this room because this is my."
Yeah.
But then the next day, she's like, "I can't take it anymore." I'm like, "Feel
Yeah.
this now.
Yeah.
When you're feeling good on a Friday night, remember this is how it will feel tomorrow, you know?"
Right. Right. Yeah. So for Karen, it's saying yes. Yeah, because I
Oh,
guess I would ask
that
her the same
is
question.
way too much.
Yes, Karen, no, embrace the no woman.
Sh she is
I want her to, because I feel like that would take such good care of Karen. I'm holding you right now, Karen, and I'm saying no for you.
huge.
I got really good at saying no, and dang, there's so much freedom in no. Like
Oh, yeah.
I'm free with no. So
Yeah,
I hope for Karen's freedom. I love you, Karen.
me too.
I
Yeah,
know. She's the
and then
best.
but I'm conflicted because I'm like, "I'm saying no now."
Yeah.
And then she's like, "Well, I'm gonna say yes. Is that okay?" I'm like, "Sure."
Yeah.
But
Well, and
no, and then
it's
it's like,
totally, yeah,
I'm not going to that. I'm not, and then I
yeah,
get conflicted where, like, I'm like, I should say yes because they keep saying yes to this, and I won't be a part of it if I don't, you know?
yeah. This is a fun journey we're on, TJ.
Isn't it? I'm just confused, and
Mhm.
I thought I was figuring things out, but
Oh gosh. Yeah,
oh, yeah,
it gets better. It
it
gets
does,
better,
doesn't
that
it?
whole figuring stuff out, and you're like, oh, it's not.
Yeah, yeah,
That took me a whole different direction.
yeah.
Huh. Yeah,
This
it's
isn't the movie I thought I was watching. What the
right.
fuck is
We're on a whole different planet now.
that?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it is a journey. I mean, that's what it is. It
Yeah,
is this journey. And yeah,
yeah,
like you said, you're in the currents right
yeah,
now, and
and
it will mellow
yeah,
out.
and honestly, I'm I'm on at the, I guess, what would be kind of the white water of it. I'm not in the peak of the storm,
Yeah.
I'm having a good day. I just try to say, "I'm having a good day right now,"
Yeah.
but I am even at my worst, I told Karen, I'm like, "Oh, this isn't a humble brag," but I do notice the default in me that rises up like the Manchurian candidate can't help but not wanna ruin anyone's day,
Yeah.
still be like, "I like those glasses," and I'm like, "Why did I don't even remember saying that." That was, like,
Yeah.
voluntary, and she's like, "Do you think you're doing that so you feel better?" And I'm like, "No." I had to stop and think for a minute, like complimenting people and holding the door or whatever. I go, "No, because I don't feel better most of the time.
Mm,
Lately. It's not like, well, it made me feel good to make them smile." I'm
yeah.
even me in my darkest, I still
You
say
still
please
show
and thank
up.
you to
Yeah,
someone
you still
else.
show up.
Yeah,
That's a
and
big deal,
that's
man.
important
That's
to
a
me though,
big
because I'm like,
deal.
when I feel like I don't know who I am,
Yeah.
oh, I need to recognize that that actually is who I am, and how can I try
Yes.
to expand on that, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know, because I do find though, when I'm not waving to people on bike rides and stuff, that I'm like, "I'm not enjoying this." Because when I
Yeah.
am, I'm, like, noticing everything
Yeah.
and, like, I'm just making myself do this, and I don't care how they feel, and that's not
Right.
and
You're
that's
so yeah, you're aware of it. You're aware of that energetic exchange because
yeah,
it goes back and forth. So even if you don't necessarily feel better with it, you are receiving it back, no matter what it looks like.
yeah.
That's what's hard for me because sometimes I'm like, but I would really like you to not be on this planet anymore. And I probably shouldn't say that. Not you, but
Rhymes with Trump.
oh yeah. And I have like a
Sorry,
handful.
but if you're listening to this, I don't wanna be friends anymore with you.
I mean, there's evil. There is darkness and
And
they
that
there is and it's bringing to light all the shit.
and that I don't watch news. Again,
Mm-mm.
I said it, but I also, like, I don't wanna be ignorant to my daughter's future,
Yeah.
but it's everywhere, and my
Yeah.
subconscious is hearing it, and people are feeling it,
Yeah.
and it was sad to me to be exposed to some people that I thought I knew, not like who you voted for, but then what you were promoting
Mm-hmm.
either physically or socially, and I'm like,
Yeah.
"I'm not that's a character that I don't wanna be
Yeah.
associated with."
Absolutely. It's not an energy to connect
I
with.
and I didn't see that in a physical exchange or presence that sounds like folks like you and I usually do.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's also kind of scrambled my brain because it's like I thought there were these innate, I don't know, traits or whatever you wanna call them that I had that, "Oh, I know this person wouldn't do that," and they're like, you know,
Mm-hmm.
voting something else, and I'm like, "That doesn't even have to be political." I'm like, "Oh, that is, like, not just you like this band or whatever, is like, that promotes, like, something I can't align with." To me,
Yeah,
that seems
it's
hate
harmful.
or
Yeah.
yeah,
It's harmful, it's oppressive, and there's no room for that.
yeah,
No room for that. There's just not.
but
Yeah.
I don't have many conversations, and it was so awesome to have Luke here because compartmentalized personalities, I think we talked about before.
Mm,
You'll hang out with someone still, some of your best friends, and you're like, "Why am I being so silly?" And I'm like, "Because that's this relationship or whatever."
right.
I can't have conversations like this with people often. It's why I do
Mhm.
ramble, and I'll have surface level combos with genuine, like, interest and engagement with, someone at the store or Hot Wheels dad because
Mhm.
they've got a story, and I'm like, "This is new and
Yeah.
physical," but I've also been torn down energetically by people who don't genuinely want to have the combo or don't have
Right.
the capacity or just it really kind of takes the wind completely out of my sails if I start to share something and their attention diverts, and I'm like, "This it's taken a lot for me to even, like, start to share this with you." Not like, "You're so lucky I even wanna have this combo with you." It's just like,
I know
"Oh."
what you're saying,
And it's
man.
almost
I
like the
know what you're
promotion of
saying.
politics. I'm like, "Damn, I thought I love this person, but they could
Yeah.
give a shit about
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
thing that, I'm trying to share with them or whatever."
Yeah, I've experienced that. I've been mid-sentence and have stopped and walked away from somebody because I'm like,
multiple
you don't
times.
care, and I'm goodbye. And you
And they
wouldn't
don't even
know.
notice.
No. No.
Yeah, the
And
last,
I'm just like, that's good information for me. And that will
yeah,
not happen again. And it's not, I used to have bitterness about it. Now I'm just like, I'm
dude, we are
protecting my
so aligned.
energy. I'm protecting
Yeah,
my energy. This isn't for you. I want to share with somebody who values me,
totally.
I say.
Yeah. And
That's why I like
somebody's,
these conversations. I
me
love
too.
I get pumped up. I'm like, all right, we're going, we're getting into it. Because I'm like, I've realized small talk, I can't, it's really hard for me. I'm like, I don't really care about the weather. I don't
Mhm.
have any interest in these things. I want to go deeper. And so if I maybe that's my double-edged sword, but if I can't, I just kind of am off to the side.
Yeah,
Like, I just
100%. I'm
yeah,
with you.
yeah,
Yeah. And when I don't draw, write, take photos, all the things I love to do, and I'm like spending energy, like having weather combos with someone or like talking hockey club. I'm like, I will in my full conscious while trying to maintain eye contact, like, this is the time I should be spending doing that shit. You know?
yeah. Yes, you have it's like that awareness kicks in and
Then there's resentment gonna get home.
yes, yes.
Yeah, I was fine picking
Oh,
her up. You just fucking had to talk to that guy again. And
yeah. I
yeah, it's all
it's just
good.
I think as we evolve, the things that we put our energy toward shift very rapidly. They start to shift rapidly. And
Mm,
yeah, people who knew me even 5 years ago probably are like, who you, girl? I'm like, I'm good. Jump on,
yeah,
jump on the train or take your bike.
get the
But
F off the tracks. But
yeah, because this
you,
is I like this ride. It's a
yeah,
bumpy one, but I mean,
me
I
too.
feel it sharpening, right? It feels like I'm back to that flame thing. It goes, I vacillate between the coals and the big fire, and
Yeah,
then the like burning rage, and then just
yeah,
the big fire where I'm lit up.
yeah.
But it's a ride. It's a
It
ride.
is,
Yeah.
and I'm here for it.
Yes. And I'm
Like,
here for it with you, and I'm cheering for you. And we got this.
yeah.
This. Yeah, you're doing good, TJ. You're doing good.
Well,
You're doing
thanks.
good. I know it doesn't feel like that, but the fact that you're going through it is a big deal.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And again,
Yeah.
knowing others have gone through stuff and not being ignorant to it, almost probably too, again, like introspective, too
Mm-hmm.
considerate of, oh, this is what they're trying. Instead of, I mean, ignorance is bliss. Some people I know are, but also it sounds like purgatory to me because I'm like, I want to think what makes me me
Yes.
is
Yes.
thinking and stopping and realizing. And maybe right now it's to a point that's sucking my soul, but I'm like, I think it's because the soul's not that bright right now, you
Yeah.
know?
And you will, yes, God, I had a Reiki session years ago, and the woman who was the practitioner said that my said that my soul was fragmented. And I was like, huh, never, never knew that could happen.
Like,
And she
bitch, you ever
was
heard
like,
of kintsugi? I'm gonna put that back together
well,
with gold, which is
yes.
Japanese, you know?
Were you the one that told me about it? I've heard of this multiple times. So maybe it was you and, or maybe Luke told me. No, I don't know. But that I want to get curious about because when she said that, she was like, something about when I start to heal, my soul will return. And
Hmm.
I didn't realize how true that statement was, where there was something that triggered my soul. The only way I can think of it is my soul scattered out of fear. My soul
Hmm.
scattered of some kind of trauma, something triggered it. I don't even, to this day, I couldn't put my finger on it. But
Mhm.
as I started to address things, and then
Mhm.
there was a time where it was just like, all right, we're back. So I wonder if you're in the midst of this soul return.
Yeah, I I hope so
Yeah,
because
I
I realize,
believe it.
I mean, I'm not I'm saying I'm better, and then sometimes I'm like, "I am, right?" But I'm
Yeah,
definitely not, like, the consistent, like
yeah,
it was more kinda flip my life generally in terms of, like, consistency and
yeah,
energy, mood, motivation,
right. Yeah,
and trying not to project everything elsewhere, where it's like, "Well, if I didn't have to do this and resent," you know,
right,
like
right,
I don't wanna resent Karen for taking that job because I know she's doing that to support the family and she's
right,
busting it's not like she's out doing something silly and selfish, and
right.
Izzy's learning the world,
Yeah,
and confusion sets in, like, what is the world right now? What is the future of it? What do we teach her?
yeah,
Push
yeah,
academics or protect her EQ, and what's gonna be more important? And that's counter to what I was brought up in. It was
sure.
academics or everything, like,
Yep.
rub some dirt on it and get 4.0 or you're out,
Yeah,
and I don't think that that's relevant anymore, and I
yeah. It's
it's
things are
confusing.
changing.
Yeah.
Things are
So
changing for sure.
but I'm optimistic in even all those
Yeah,
facets.
yeah. And I would say your soul's is likely still in you. Mine was to the ends of the earth. It made sense because of what I was going through. I was like, oh, that makes sense. It wasn't like I don't think I ever felt scared. But I think, like you said, it's almost like you're feeling the dimness of it, which means
Yeah,
there's room for that expansion. You know what I mean? And when it comes, it's gonna be, it's gonna be real great.
I believe so.
I do. I believe so. I can see it. I can see it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just yep, I believe you, and I
Yeah.
honestly have to, otherwise it's like, I don't know, like, what would be the point of putting in the work? I'm not talking like, "Hey, I'll just end it." It's just like,
Yeah. Yeah.
what's the I guess that's where, again, you know that you're still you by being like, "This is late in the race. I've been here before." Like, on our
Yeah.
TSP, Luke had to wake me up a second time to fill in for
Yeah.
the van breaking down after Laura, bless her heart, had stomach or
Oh yeah.
female
Yeah.
related something,
Yeah.
and I was like, "You gotta be fucking kidding me." He's like, and Luke is that soulmate, even in my
Yeah.
head, metaphorically, he's like, "Dude, we've been here before. It it'll you can do it, like, it'll get better. Just
Yeah.
get up, start running, like, you'll be surprised. The pain will go away.
Yeah.
Remember, like, this is how it is."
Yes. Do
And
you
I started running, I barely get my legs going, and then I'm like, "Holy shit, somehow I feel like it's getting better, and I'm
yeah.
getting faster, like, during this leg, and I couldn't even stand when he pulled me out of the trailer.
Yes.
Yeah,
That is
so
it.
the subconscious is like, "Dude, just push through this," but also, like, recognize where we are right now, don't be ignorant.
Yeah. That's good. I like that. That's something
Well,
to
thanks,
maybe
Luke, he told me it
he's so
in
wise.
real time.
Shout
Yeah,
out to Luke J. He said, and I quote, tell Mr. Bottom I said hello.
tell him to shut the fuck up, call
Okay.
me
You heard it? Yeah,
by his
don't worry.
girlfriend. He really is, and you guys are the most solid. Izzy likes people, loves almost anyone unless they screw her over,
Yeah.
and then still invites him over, and I'm like, "Dude, yesterday I was ready to fight her dad. What's she doing here?" She just wants everyone she wants everyone. She can't stand at her age not being liked, but
Yeah.
she is a kid, and you bring friends over and stuff. She's like, "Oh, hi," but
Mm-hmm.
she's enamored with Luke. I think because it's like, oh, another dad that's kind of like mine, and
Yeah.
he's sitting amongst us and like looking at me, actually wanting.
Right.
It's like, how
Yeah.
cool is he? You
Yeah.
know, and but when I went into the room, she's like, he's really nice, Dad. You guys seem like
Oh,
good friends. And I was like, is he? He's like the most solid, like human I know. And I was like, he
wow.
is one of the best male runners in the United States and top, you know, 50 in the world. And she's like, what? I didn't know that. I'm like, because Luke doesn't tell you. And she's like,
No,
is he
you never
praised?
will.
I go, no, because Luke doesn't do it for that.
Right.
I said, you know what? Luke definitely probably gets tired and sometimes dad grumpy and whatever, but he's the most solid I know, like I
Yeah.
say, because Luke knows who he is. He doesn't do it. He does nothing for everyone else. I go, I've never heard Luke say a bad thing about someone.
Mm-mm.
I'll be in a space where I'm like, fuck that guy. And Luke's like,
Yeah.
well, I understand why you feel that way,
Mm-hmm.
but here's my perspective, or here's my experience with him. Maybe
Yeah.
think about this. Or he's like, yeah, I could see why you feel that way,
Yeah.
but he won't be like, yeah, I'm with you. And I
Yeah.
go, because Luke knows who he is,
Yeah.
and he doesn't have to tell anyone who he is. He
So
does
true.
what he does because that's who he is. You
Yeah.
know, he runs because of this. He doesn't say something because that's not who he is. When
Mm-mm.
he knows who he is, he doesn't have to worry about what anyone else
That's
thinks,
right.
nor does he have to tell them who they are. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
that's the lesson we could all take from Luke. And
Yeah.
she's like,
It's
is
so
Luke Chan leaving? I
oh,
was
I love that.
like, yeah.
Izzy, you're the
She goes,
best.
are you gonna cry like my good friend Mark a couple times when they've left, but they've stayed with us like 5 weeks. I was like, shit, you gonna cry when Luke leaves? I
Oh.
was like, well, I didn't plan on it, but I might now. I'm getting choked up now just talking about it. It was so good
Yeah.
to have him.
Good. He loved being there. I'm so glad you guys were able to connect.
Good dude. And
Yeah.
then it goes into the family. I'm like, his wife and kids, and Luke's like, well,
Well,
would you have teenagers? You know?
yes, we do, which
Yeah.
is crazy, crazy, crazy. Yeah. But TJ, you are and will always be a big deal. And we
You
love
are a big deal.
you, and we are so grateful for you and for Karen and for Izzy, and we love all of you. Big
Well,
love.
I love you, and I hope I'm not bringing anyone down. And I really was.
Hmm.
There's some days I wake up and I'm like, I'm so smoked, but I'm not gonna say it. I'm just gonna not give it a voice to myself. And I'm like, you know what? What good's that gonna do?
You got to feel it. That's what I'm a big advocate for feeling. Otherwise it just gets stuck and you have to keep doing. It's like,
Yeah,
those phones, the dial.
yeah, rotaries.
Yes, you got to go all the way around because if
Yeah.
you don't, you're just going to keep getting to number 5 over and
And
over
I
and then
was
it gets stuck.
trying to anticipate what we might be talking about, other than I knew I wanted to write something to
I
reciprocate,
love
but I have
that.
quotes and other pages in my book or in
Well,
my
I wanted to hear from,
I don't, because I'm like,
but
I
I
don't know.
wanted to
Glad
hear.
people, wanted to listen to us and me ramble before, and this might not rival it, but I'm like, I would want to hear people
Being
talk.
real.
Yeah,
Be
right now.
real. People want real right now, man.
I want
Well,
them to be
I
like,
think all the
I've found solace in people finally. I don't even really pay attention on social, but seeing sometimes people that everyone assumes is doing good and being like, thank God I'm not alone,
right. It's
reaching
true. It's true.
that community. I'm
People
sorry, no, you're
resonate with it.
closing it, but I
Well,
hope
but
this wasn't a downer and more like, you're so insightful, and it benefits me to just have the combo and hear your tools and what
yeah,
you've gone
it's mutual. It's mutual. But I would like to end with, would you
through.
leave us? I'm not kidding.
No,
Have
I
it.
know. I'll shut up.
What? You
You
need
would like to end with,
with
sorry.
you a piece of your writing because I would like for your book to be published someday. And so would you do the great honors of walking us out of this with a piece of something that you've written?
Let me find something
Or
and
you
hold.
can do five things. You can just read every page. Because I think it's important. Listen, here's the thing. That sounded aggressive. I think it's extremely beneficial for the collective vibration for us to embrace our creativity. And when it is shared and when it is put out into the world, it elevates everything. Therefore, you're doing the world a favor. So
Well, I would hope that I wouldn't be hurting the world.
you're, of course not, dude. I've read your writing, and that's why I'm trying not to be
Probably.
obnoxious with encouraging you to continue with your writing because it's not on, I don't want to add to your to-do list.
No,
However, I do think it is
I
beneficial to put into
I
the world.
I need to put it on a to-do list with the same um weight behind it as a work project.
Yes, I would echo that
I
a
need
lot loudly with my megaphone.
I need to find, I don't know if it's because I'm on Zoom, but do you have any that I had sent to you?
Oh, I don't even have my phone up here. I had,
Here,
because would it be in your notes? Or
it's
no,
in,
picture
oh, I think one is in my notes.
that
This
because
is
that's where I had it, was in
See,
my
this is
notes.
where you should have said prepare something.
Or
Um,
you could just riff. What do you have to riff?
riff,
I don't know. Is that a word?
like Eminem
Or
freestyle, rap.
freestyle. You could freestyle.
Uh,
What do you want
no.
to leave the world with today? What words of wisdom do you have for us?
Well, I did have those perspective and perception.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, let's hear it.
I'm trying to find it.
Oh, okay.
Can you chop out time blocks on this?
I
Or is
could,
that
but
stuff?
I don't mind just talking while you're um because I wanted to actually talk to you about maybe this will be another podcast, like that whole idea of being here before. Like this isn't
Oh,
your first time in this iteration. And also like that idea of like, what am I doing here? I don't belong here. How did I get here? Kind of situation. I have those thoughts sometimes too often.
yeah. I haven't had time to dwell on those as much as I.
That's probably good. It's
It
probably
probably, that's where sometimes I'm like, this might be a good thing.
yeah.
It is. I think I
Do you
might.
have do you when you
Oh,
write
here we go.
okay, okay.
What? Go
I
ahead.
was gonna say when you write, do you write is it in your notes on the computer or do you handwrite with your calligraphy pen?
I wish I hand wrote more. I'm just like, I feel like my handwriting gets worse as it goes on.
Yeah, my handwriting's terrible. I do like
And
writing.
I'm being trained like a dum dum. Like I get exhausted because I'm writing for work and so much that I don't even really want to like type text to people anymore.
Yeah, I do
I'm just
voice. I do more voice text.
like, me
Voice,
too. And then
yeah.
certain friends, I'm like, all right, you know that I'm there. I'm like, all right, you know that this is Siri. And he's like, yeah, of course. Cause I'm one of them is also a copywriter and a writer. And I'm like, you know, I wouldn't miss that comma, let alone say this or whatever.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Okay, do you have it?
I have the perspective one up and there's two on that.
Okay,
Uh,
let's hear it.
I just want to make sure I revised a couple of them too. So I'm nervous that this one might not be.
It's gonna be great.
I'll read a short one.
Okay,
Oh, they're both kind of long.
do them.
Wait, I want to do the perception one because I remember that fear can close the walls in and love
Yeah, that.
can sharpen the corner and love can remove the walls. But
Okay, I let's hear it like
I'm trying
with
bad,
authority.
but I can only see the perspective one, so we might not get that one.
Okay.
So let's do perspective, but
We're
next time
meant we're
that one.
meant for it. I like that anyway.
Well, I did perspective and perception in comparison and contrast because I think people, including myself, sometimes get them misconstrued one for the other, confused. So I was
Mm-hmm.
trying to clarify in some sort of writing between the two of them. But I did two on perspective and two on perception. And the only one I have pulled up is perspective. So I
Okay.
can just do that one.
I want to hear that one.
All right. So this one is titled For What I Don't Remember, but the angle we carry. And I wrote, a hillside looks different from the ridge and different again from the ravine. One sees the climb, the other the fall. Neither lies, both are incomplete. A mirror hung at a slant tells a story the straight on view never whispers. A bowl becomes a spiral, a shadow becomes a path. When we shift, perspective is no constant, it's wind-borne, memory wrapped, colored by grief or tenderness, or the sound of someone we miss saying our name. We do not look from nowhere, we look from the sum of where we've been. The long arc of love and leaving, of joy felt briefly and sorrow held long. The child sees fairness, the adult sees cost, the elder sees time, cured into every gesture, each moment lit with a glow of the finite. We claim to observe, but what we bring colors what we find. A canyon yawns wider for the brokenhearted, a face softens for the forgiven. What we see is angled by who we are and what we've lost. And so a horizon becomes a limit or a beginning,
Mm.
not by fact, but by where we stand to face it and what we carry to its edge. So that's that one.
Come on, TJ.
I,
Ah, are
I
we
don't,
kidding? Are we freaking kidding? Okay, couple
we are.
things. We're not. First thing, please record that so you have, I mean, it's obviously going to be on this podcast for eternity, but please record that
We should carve it
even
into.
for Izzy for when she graduates. And
No, I
then
need.
please type it out and frame it because come on, TJ. Come on. That's
I'm even
beautiful.
reading
That's freaking beautiful. What the heck? I'm like
You're
losing my
beautiful.
mind right now. This is out of control, people. That's so
You have
good.
this
It's like
somewhere.
it's so just like that, but that is encaptures, it feels like it encaptures where you are at right now. Like
It does. And
if you
that's
can
crazy
look
you
at,
brought it up. There's another one that a variant I did of it that kind of says the same message, but like a different tone.
yeah.
I can even just read the final
Yes,
part.
read it. Please read it.
All
This
of
is
it.
gold, people.
This is it, Beck. And then you told me you had to go. Just kidding.
Well, we'll wrap it up, but
No, it's fine. I'll
well,
shit. I'll do
I want to hear this one
okay, I'll
and
do
then
this.
we'll pause the recording and then we'll chat a little bit more and people will be so jealous.
Yeah.
Too
Well,
bad.
you
Just
just
kidding. No, no, let's hear this one and then
okay.
okay.
I'll do this one. It's shorter than the other one, but whatever. So this not from nowhere. Let me grab my glasses and going all skiddly allergy eyes.
Mhm.
Perspective is a vantage, not a verdict. So it's titled Not From Nowhere. Perspective is a vantage, not a verdict. It leans, it angles, it carries the shape of who we've been. It doesn't arrive clean, it arrives weathered, bearing memory like smoke in the folds. Unlike raw perception, which sculpts what enters the scenes, perspective gives weight, emotional, historical, intimate to what's seen. It decides what matters and why. Two people can witness the same moment and carry home different truths, not because either is wrong, but because each carries a different compass drawn from upbringing, love, loss, and language. Perspective is never weightless. The philosopher calls it a standpoint. The poet calls it a slant. Both understand where we're standing is half the story. To one person, the hill is a burden. To another, a promise. The same slope, but a different breath. The object stays still. The meaning moves. This isn't relativism. It's a kind of care. To know our sight is shaped is not to question its worth, but to soften its edges, to wonder what we're missing. Perspective is not the world, it's how the world passes through us. And the more we recognize the angle of our seeing, the more dimensional our experience becomes, layered with tenderness, frailty, and the quiet grace of knowing we never see alone.
Mm.
So,
in conclusion, please, this is not a should, it is just a request from the universe. So this isn't from me. Please keep writing, TJ. It would be a disservice. This is a challenge. Now this is me talking. It would be a disservice to the world if you stopped writing.
That's how I can actually, I only think in real time in combo, like with Luke so many times, and even here is like, that's when my thoughts clear, is when I'm communicating to someone who wants to hear it, which could be myself in the writing. So even reading that, I'm like, oh, this could help me.
Yes. Well, when you were reading it, I'm like, read this every day. Read those two every day. This is not a command, but maybe read them every day and be inspired by what came from you. Please write.
Glad you made it.
Right.
Even with this conversation, it's like that self-discovery. It's like, oh, these are the parts that I don't look back on like, oh, I see me in a cycling kit and being like, why does that not evoke anything? But this is like, this shines a bit more on me recognizing who I really am and will always be, regardless of the variables, you know?
Yes.
Sorry, these are Hot Wheels dads texting me.
Oh, Hot Wheels dad. All right, I'll let TJ go.
No, this isn't I need to go. This is them saying, dudes, I just hit the diet target and came upon a fresh case.
That's funny. That's funny. That's funny. Yeah.
That's not prompting a close to this. That's me saying, yes. See how someone's keeping in touch.
Yeah.
The Hot Wheels dads.
The Hot Wheels dads. Well, okay. I'm gonna pause the recording shortly, but don't go anywhere. Okay. FYI, people, reach out to TJ. Well,
you can.
Where do you want that? Where could I send them? Where's the best way? Just find him. Okay. Yeah, I'll put.
I honestly, I don't. I will send other people stuff sometimes, but I don't even think if anyone messages me back anymore. So
okay. Well,
if anyone honestly listening to this, I'd happily, if anyone wants to email my Gmail, which isn't my burner account, it's tjbottom@gmail.com. I'd love to have any sort of dialogue with anyone in that sense.
Okay, you heard that, people. And also, just so we're clear, a book will come from this. And then I'm going to end it right now. You're a big deal, and TJ's writing a book. Thanks for joining me today. If you enjoyed this podcast, be sure to rate, review, and follow the show on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. Keep showing up, and remember, you are a big deal.